Shout my hip hop since 1987, niggas. Hip hop since 1987.com.
You know what it is, your man Eldorado, hip hop since 1987. We live in Austin, Texas, South by Southwest. But I got a New Jersey rapper with me. He goes by the name of So Dope. What's going on, play? How you doing today, man?
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Shout out to hip hop. Shout out to hip hop since 1987. You know,
yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Like, you're in Austin, Texas right now, you know, as an indie artist. Why don't you explain to other indie artists the importance of getting out and networking at events like this?
Well, right now, what we doing for me is groundbreaking for me. You know what I mean? As an artist, independent. You know what I mean? Like, I put all my records on iTunes myself. I got free records, albums, mixtapes, whatever you call them, on thatpiff.com. So, like, the grind is highly important. Relationships with people like hip hop since 1987 is very important. And, you know, and being here at South by Southwest, like I just ran into major artists. I busted up with Joe Buttons, ran into Lil Kiki, you know, Frenchie. I met Frenchie back in New York, cause you know, from the East Coast, so it's real important, my nigga. You know, I gotta stay with it. Shout out to Fred the Godson. You know what I mean? He took his time to talk to me. You know what I mean? So I'm just rubbing shoulders, and it's crazy now. When I meet them later, and it's like, yeah, I met you in Texas. They gonna be like, oh,
I remember you.
Yeah, I remember you. Your grind is serious.
Yeah,
my grind is serious. I'm a Jersey nigga. You know what I mean? Trenton. You know what I mean?
Now, your name is So Dope. You know, that's a unique name within itself. What made you come up with that name?
Well, it was a lot of transformation. I was known as Trenton Doughboy first. I mean, that's where I started out in Trenton, just real local. And then, you know, I felt like I had to stretch out bigger. You know what I mean? And I went by my first name, which is D.O. So Dope, for a long time. And then it was Mr. So Dope, because I basically moved up in the ranks where these guys got to call me Mr. You can't call me by my first name no more.
I respect that.
You know what I mean?
I respect that.
And now it's at the point where it's just So Dope explains it all. You know what I mean? So Dope Music Group, that's my company. Me and my partner, Evie Mac. You know what I mean? It's a hard grind, nothing come easy, but I love it. I do it for the love, because I haven't made a dollar off it. So, and that's basically it for that story, but you know.
Now, being from New Jersey, why don't you explain to our viewers just what the New Jersey music scene is like? You know, some might get it chopped and screwed. They think Philly, Jersey, DC, New York, you know, all those artists are the same, but New Jersey has its own identity. Why don't you explain to us just what the New Jersey music scene is like?
Well, Jersey's been underrated for a long time, you know, even though we got great stars coming out. Bon Jovi, Redman, and Mary J, you know what I mean? And you know, they don't know. Like, I'm from Trenton. We got Poor Righteous Teachers. We got my man Big Ooh, he's doing his thing right now. You know, we got a lot of artists that's putting on this, really changed the face of Jersey hip hop. You know what I mean? Shout out to Fred the Godson again, you know, like he's one of the artists that's standing out. There's a lot of artists, forgive me if I don't mention you, you know, but there's a lot of Jersey artists that's really grinding, and they changed the face of it. You know what I mean? We used to be just a certain way. We weren't really in the loop. Now, you know, we created our own loop. You know what I mean? We go to Philly. Philly come to us sometimes, and we show love back to each other. You know what I mean? So it really means a lot that people are recognizing Jersey. They're recognizing the artists from Jersey. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm here.
Now, I understand you're working on a new project. It's entitled King Dope.
King Dope.
Can you elaborate and tell us a little bit, what we can expect from that project?
Well, I can say I've been fighting with myself on putting out the type of music that I like versus the type of music that's marketable to the people that buy the records and people that really, you know, talk about your name in the streets. Those are two different types of people almost, you know what I mean? Like, people that buy the records don't live in the streets that much, you know what I mean? As opposed to people who really talk about your shit, they live in the streets, you know what I mean? They bump it, they ride around their cars with it, you know what I mean? Not saying people that personally don't, but it's just more likely you're gonna find somebody in the hood that's bumping your shit, everybody gonna respect it, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of respect for that, so with King Dope, I find the balance of it both. I got my street shit, and I got actual shit that's music, you know what I mean? As far as my influences, you know, like Kanye, of course, as far as musical works, you know what I mean? Because Kanye does musical works, but it's still rap, you know what I mean? When he wants it to be, when he wants it to be. But, you know what I mean? Something to that nature, as like, Watch the Throne was highly influential in just my way of seeing music. So, those are the things that influenced me more so as opposed to just street rap, you know what I mean? Street rap is great. I grew up on street rap, but, you know what I mean? Shout out to Styles P, you know what I mean? That's the shit I grew up listening to, and I still listen to.
As we move on to 2014, we know King Dope is coming out. What else can we expect from So Dope?
Well, basically, we're going, I didn't tell anybody, but I'm not dropping no more mixtapes after this, you know, because from industry insiders, they tell me, you know, mixtapes are cool, but you have to be at a certain level for mixtapes to have that effect, that garnish effect that you're looking for. So at this point, I'm only pushing the singles on iTunes, and yeah, I might release free records available on SoundCloud and things like that, audio push, whatever the case is. But for the most part, we're really not gonna do no more mixtapes at it. So I'm gonna make this the best one I got. I'm gonna drop it, and then I'm going just pushing for the singles and everything else. You know what I mean?
I respect that. I respect.